Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. As awaited, I present you our founder of GeeksforGeeks, Sandeep Jain, and Priya Bhatiya, who's a creator, influencer on LinkedIn, and she's also a mentor here at GeeksforGeeks for data science and data analytics. So we look forward to having an interactive session with everyone here, and I'm handing over the mic to the panel today.
Good afternoon, everyone. So I came to Bangalore on 1st May, and I feel overwhelmed by the response shown by the people here. And we see a lot of traffic coming on Google Analytics from Bangalore, but meeting the real people is super exciting. We did an event yesterday, and in that event, we were like, कि लोग आएंगे या नहीं आएंगे? How would the response be like, and should we promote it more? And we just posted one post on LinkedIn, and we got like huge response, and we had to say no to a lot of people. So thank you all for this kind of response. And in the event also, there was a lot of love shown by the people. Really feel overwhelmed, and I feel like I should stay here for a month with my family. I've asked my kids and my wife that let's go to Bangalore and stay there for a month. And I would love to meet people here, the Silicon Valley of India, and that's the plan. I mean, I'll be coming back for a month here. Now, coming to the topic of the today, we are going to talk about data science and data analytics. And we have an offline center here. We run a course here, and Priya Bhatiya is a mentor here. So no better person than Priya to talk about this. And about Priya, I was just talking to her, and it was so interesting. And I got to know that she also comes from GIT, the campus where I taught as a professor. I mean, that was really great to know. I mean, kind of feel like a family. So, Priya, I would like you to first introduce yourself, and then I would like to answer you this question like, why did you choose data science as a career?
First of all, thank you so much, sir. Sharing with you a stage is such a dream comes true, right? It's a very big deal. So he's a mentor for me, and today I am sitting with him. It's a very big deal for me, right? First of all, thank you so much, everyone, for coming here. For those, I can see few of my students are also there. So thank you so much, everyone, for coming. So my name is Priya Bhatia, and currently I'm a founder of Tech for All with Priya company. Apart from this, prior to that, I have worked almost 3 years, 3+ years of experience I have as a data scientist. I have completed my master's in AI domain from IIT Hyderabad. And as sir already told you that my bachelor's is from JIT 128, where he already taught so much, right? So this is a brief about me. You can also find me on LinkedIn, on YouTube by the name of Priya Bhatia only. How many of you are already aware? Right, few of them. And yeah, it's a long journey, and it's a continuous process of learning, right? So thank you so much once again, Sandeep sir, for giving me this opportunity. The next question which he asked from me is that why you have chosen data science, right? So when I was pursuing my bachelor's only at that point of time, we had a concept of elective choosing. That's a very interesting concept in JP. So we need to choose an elective, and it's an optional thing. So I chose at that point of time machine learning, and that's the very first point which interests me. Ki there is something very interesting at that point of time in 2018-19. It's not that much peak, which is currently now. So I was like, ki, why not to go for masters in that specific domain? And after that, I went through gate exam. I gave gate exam, and for the very first time when I gave, I didn't succeed. I didn't get any IIT, to be very frank. Okay, so again, success and failures are part of life. So after that, I again, when I was doing my full-time job at Thales Noida, I started preparing again for GATE Computer Science, and that is where I got shortlisted for IIT Hyderabad. I gave the interviews and I went for that. And then again, the journey of doing a master's is quite amazing. The guide which I met there is again very knowledgeable, and I got a lot of exciting content. I worked in healthcare domain, which hugely impacts nowadays, specifically how the cancerous detection is going on. At that point of time, COVID was there, and I was working on that real-time data. So all these things really, helped me to understand that it is something which is impacting real world. So that is where I started sharing the content also on Geeks for Geeks and many other platforms with respect to data science, and learning and sharing. I was like, this forms a ikigai for me, and that is where my journey to teach the students started 3 years ago, and I feel it's never ending now. Until I survive, I'll definitely make sure that I will teach, because I really love that. So thank you so much once again.
Thanks, Priya. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you. So, next question to you, Priya, is in 2018-19, you talked about, in 2020-21, that time, a lot of content creators, a lot of people who were doing something, right? They were talking about data structures, algorithms, and full stack development even now, right? So, you never felt like I should probably shift to this field. How come? I mean, data science kept you so interested. What was the most interesting part about data science that you kept working on this field when not many people were talking about it? These days, everybody talks about data science, machine learning, and all those things.
Okay, so at that point of time, I remember I watched one video where real-time Google project was there. And in that project, they have shown me that in that video that they are working in a project where in a village, the ladies who are pregnant, who don't aware about the, healthcare symptoms, how they can take care of herself, how this AI based tool is helping them. AI assistant was a new thing for and that in those days, to take care of herself and to tell them the suggestion that how can she cope up in that days, right? So it feels so amazing to me. Like AI in healthcare domain, as I told you, is something which fascinates me in that era. And I was like, many people are not aware about this technology. See, wherever there is a huge demand, for example, sir talked about DSA. DSA is the foundation which even the people who are in web development, the people who are in data science, the people who are in data analytics, everyone should know, I believe so, because it really helps you in order to write a clean code. It helps you to understand how you can write or optimize your code with a lower time and space complexity, right? So with respect to web development, yeah, so I feel like there is a huge traffic going there. Java developer is a very good role at that point of time. But I was like, there are very few people who are genuinely aware about this specific domain and is very, very having a good expertise and knowledge. So why not to grasp the content, start doing research? I have explored so many Coursera courses, Andrew NG courses were there, right? So MIT lectures were there on YouTube for free. So I started watching all those stuffs, and it really, it's like it really helped me to understand that how just like a human being works, our logical thinking works. We can also create a AI based machine which can think like us without any human intervention. Just like we learn from our past experiences, we can also train the machines also to feed the data set, and they will be able to think wisely, give us the decision. And this sounds really amazing at that point of time. And I think that fascination only helped me to understand lot many things. And then when I started networking with people of similar mindset who are, have experience in this particular domain or wants to learn from this particular domain, again, that really helps me to understand more vastly about this subject. So yeah, that's the whole point.
All right, that's a very good answer, Priya, and that makes a lot of sense. The kind of applications, even now, we all can see. Like, I mean, this has data science, AI, ML has, and everybody's talking about it, and it's being used almost everywhere. And every company, every investor is now seeing how can we use ML, AI in our products. In fact, in our company also, we regularly talk what all things we can automate, what all things we can optimize using AI, ML. That's the thought process of almost every tech founder these days. What are the things that humans are doing, and how can we optimize our team? How can we make our team optimize? So right now, if they're doing one thing in 10 days, they can do the same thing in 2 days with the help of AI ML. That's the thought of every company these days. Priya, we all know that this is going to be a big thing in the coming days. Already big. It's going to be even bigger. It's compared with the internet, right? The way 2000 in India, the internet became very popular. Data science, AI, ML is going to be that big. Now, so a lot of people would be interested, how do I start? So we have some school students here, some engineering students here, some working professionals. So I'll first ask you about a student who doesn't know anything about data science, AI, ML, who has not studied computer science fundamentals, how that person can begin. Then I'll ask you about a working professional. So first, you can or maybe you can answer first about the students, and then you can answer about the working professionals.
So firstly, for students, let's talk about that. So first of all, you should be comfortable with a programming language. So it would be Python or R, but nowadays, specifically, I would suggest go for Python because it contains a lot of packages, lot of libraries are there which you can directly import and use that. It's a user friendly. Even the people who are not from programming background, they will be easily able to cope up with that programming, right? Python is a go-to language. And if in future you find interest in statistical things, right, mathematical things, then you can go for R as well. So if firstly go for Python if you are good with one programming language. Loops are loops, conditional statements are conditional statements. You get the understanding of one programming language, it's very easy to switch to another one. And don't be stubborn in any one programming language. As I always say, when you go to the company, you don't know what project might come and it requires the use of R or Python or Java. So you can't say to your manager that, I don't know this programming language. They will give you the time and then you have that ability to adapt that thing, okay? And this really helps you to gain more wisdom as well in terms of different knowing about different programming languages, right? When I started my journey, I started with Java, then I switched to Scala, then I switched to Python, then I switched to R. So it's an ongoing process. Whatever project is coming in, you have to accordingly think about that, right? And in my school days, it was C++. 11, 12, I had chosen C++. So that's a whole process of learning journey, right? So one programming language, specifically, if you can go for Python, it's a good to go. Specifically, I'm talking about data science per se or data analytics per se. After that, you should be good about mathematical skills. See, many people usually say to me that, Priya, what's the use of maths? In Python, we can directly import the stuffs. Where is this maths is going on? What I will do in order to understand the mathematical intuition behind algorithms, right? It's just a waste of time. No, it's not a waste of time. When you will go for research per se, you will not able to understand the internal things. When you write a research paper, you will see every research publication checks the internal maths which you have used in order to establish any new algorithm from the previous algorithm that we have, right? So maths is very important. And when I'm saying maths, it would be of linear algebra, like eigenvalues, eigenvectors. It will be of statistical maths, for example, population, sample, hypothesis testing, descriptive stats, whatever concepts we have. You should be aware about basic to intermediate level of these topics. Again, maths is a very wide thing. We don't want to become masters in mathematical things, statistical things. So it's very important to understand that where we have to stop. Otherwise, you will be in a zone that there is so much of things, which thing I will learn, right? So you have to understand, do your research that what things are important in maths, which will basically help me to understand the algorithms in a pretty well manner and to establish, to develop the projects that we have end to end, right? Third important thing. So first, programming language. Second is a mathematical thing where specific focus is on linear algebra plus statistical part, which I'm talking about. After that, maybe as a student, if I am school going student, if you are aware about the technologies which are going on, I think just take a pause at that point of time. No need to jump towards the further advanced concepts. But now, working towards a working professional who is, let's say, working in the industries, their IQ level must be strong, right? They have already worked with different programming languages. They already know how we can develop a pipeline end to end. Maybe they are not aware about data science, but they will be aware about software development. So it's very easy for them to switch. They know that how things will work in industry. So maybe those people can start after learning programming language and statistical concepts. They can start with machine learning at the very first go. Also, the tools that we have for data analytics, for example, MS Excel, Microsoft Excel, it's a very wonderful tool which really helps you to do or manage the personal finances as well, right? Power BI, Tableau is there to analyze the proper data. After that, we have SQL databases, MySQL, NoSQL based databases. Apart from this, you should be able to understand the algorithmical understanding of machine learning and the very first scope. For a working profession, I'm talking about. When I'm saying you should be aware about the mathematical intuitions behind that. See where you find the gap, or when you are going for an interview, you have to understand that there are so many people who are competing with you, right? Maybe thousands of applications are coming for the same job profile nowadays, right? So how you will be able to distinguish yourself from those 999 people, right? That is where you have to understand everybody will be able to import that package, everybody will be able to write a simple code which you are writing. So where that is there, the difference you will be able to create in terms of building a strong foundational concepts. I have seen so many people who are so experienced also, but they know how to deliver the product, but they don't know the internals behind that. That's a major gap. So you should start your learning as a beginner from a basic foundation. And always remember, even you went for a Google interviews, because I personally have given interview from startups to the product based companies like Google. So they will always focus on the foundations, because tools will keep on changing, advancements will keep on happening, but DSA will remain same, but machine learning algorithms will remain same, but the maths behind that will remain same. So start always with the foundational things, and then step by step go for deep learning, then NLP. And it's a long journey. It's not it's a never ending process. And now generative AI is coming upon, maybe after 5 years or 2 years, new domain is there in data science. So don't focus on that much stuff, but at least you should be prepared well for machine learning, their intuition. And after that, maybe you can start exploring at that point of time what kind of job roles are available. Maybe you can go for Naukri profile. And just now, Geeks for Geeks also, sir, was telling to me that has launched their own job portal. They're connecting with the clients, right? So you can see what kind of job positions are available at that point of time. If it is for ML engineer, chances are very high they will just ask you machine learning concepts. If it's a computer vision engineer, go for the deep learning concepts as well. And accordingly, you can just gain your knowledge. And last thing, once you will be able to have a very hefty salary, right? You will be able to get a good package, you will be able to get a good job position profile, whatever you have dreamed of, XLPA amount of package. uh, be happy, do party for one day, but from the next day start learning again, because it's a continuous process. You cannot stop your learning by saying that, okay, ab to meri job lag gayi hai, now I have finished my course, I got my job, I got 50 LPA package, maybe working in some XYZ company. You know, tech layoffs are going on, you know that how things are going on, things are changing on a very vast pace, right? You are competing with so many people. So please make sure that you will, on a daily basis, at least spend 1 hour of your time apart from your job work to explore, to do your research in terms of what advancement is going on in this domain. It's a quite interesting domain, but for those people who are very keen to learn, who are very keen to explore that, okay, let's see what other things are going on, let's see the new research papers which are coming up, in which particular domain people are still working, startups funding is going on in which particular specific domain. So let me explore about that domain. For example, nowadays generative AI is something which is quite booming. Why is that so? What's the major reason behind that? What are the tools that we have? How can we able to learn all those tools? How will we able to make our task very easy with the help of those tools? All these things are very important to learn. It definitely depends on you. You are buying a paid course, you are learning from YouTube. Nowadays everything is available for free also, and there are so many courses also available for you. It really depends on you, your motivation level. And the only thing at the end is, please upskill yourself on a daily basis, because it's a need of an hour. It's not optional for you, it's a need of an hour. Okay.
Thank you, Priya. That I think must have helped a lot of people here and the people who are watching online. That was a very good answer. And I would just summarize what Priya has mentioned. If you are a beginner, then you need to learn a programming language first. And the two popular programming languages are R and Python. And Python is something that she suggested. You should go for Python as the first language. And once you've learned Python, you need to learn mathematical fundamentals that are required for ML, AI, data science, and then you need to work on some projects. And if you are a working professional, then you need to make sure that you are upskilling yourself time to time. So now, my next question to you, Priya, is if say I am a working professional and I am working in a company like somewhere where I'm a front-end developer or a back-end developer, I know that I have a lot of interest in data science, AI, ML, and a lot of and the jobs there are going to increase with time. And so, how do I switch? I mean, because if I get an experience in, for example, I was working in a company and where I was working on Python, Perl and Sybase. So it was very difficult for me at that time to switch to another company which works on a different technology. Is it I was in fintech, so working shifting to a company which is e-commerce company or some other company, people were like more companies would be interested who are fintech and who are working similar technology. So how do I apply to those companies and how do I prepare those myself before going there, and how do I negotiate salary? Because if I am a front end developer somewhere, I'll be getting better salary if I go for a front end developer job. But if I go for a data science job in a different company, then I'll be like, you don't have experience in data science, so we would first hire you as a fresher job or something. We'll give you some value, but not that much value. So how do I tackle with that, and how do I switch domain?
So I think many people are struggling with this question. Anyone here who has similar question, right? It's a very good question because whatever students I met, that this is the common question which I usually get. Ki, we are working in some other domain and now we are interested in this data science domain. How will I switch, right? So there are few things which I feel will can work out for you. You have to see in your company. First thing is, first of all, take a proper knowledge, upskill yourself before taking the chance to switch or talking to anyone, right? So please have that, proper end-to-end knowledge, and you have something to showcase to them. You have some projects end-to-end which you have done on a real-time data. Otherwise, how company will get to know that you have an idea, right? Maybe you are generating some content out of that. You have something, right, to showcase in the market. When you're going, you are in a way bargaining to them with respect to your skills, and that's where you get the package, right? It's a fact, right? So basically you have to understand that how can I curate a end-to-end project where I can showcase to them a proper looking website where we are passing some numbers and my model is giving the predictions. For example, I will upload a CT scan, and CT scan is giving me a prediction that whether a patient is having cancerous cells in it or not. So there is something which the client is able to understand and will be able to see that, okay, she or he has done something in it, right? End to end, you have a knowledge of that. After that, once you gain a proper knowledge, be whatever resources you are following, just make sure that maybe in your company itself, because nowadays there is no company from edtech to fintech to any other healthcare domain you will see automating AI based tools definitely will be there. So you can ask to your manager, you can discuss with him that, I am somehow interested in this specific domain, so can we do some internal switch? If there is a job, first of all do your research, check it out that whether the positions are available or not. If yes, then connect, network with people who are working already in that team, because it's very easy for you, right? Because you're working in that specific company itself. Talk to your colleagues, network with them that, okay, how is the work going on? What kind of technology you are using? Acha, what kind of projects you are working upon? And if you're feeling like it sounds good to me and it is even demanding nowadays, talk to internal team itself, and if possible make a internal switch. It is very easy for you to do a internal switch, gain some experience and then do a switch, because now you have a good experience also, right? Maybe 1 year 2 year, and then you can say you have a idea that how internally in the projects end to end things will happen. So it's very easy now to make a 50% or 100% hike also, I have seen for many people, right? So initially to your focus should be कि I can somehow make a switch. Then I'll gain the experience. Then I'll make a hike. It's very easy for me if I have a good experience also and if I have a good knowledge also. Second way could be where this is the first way, internals, which I'm talking about. Connect, see the career portal of your own job where you're working currently, and the positions are there. Connect with the team and do it, right? Second way could be where maybe you can ask or see the opportunities as a freelancing. See, nowadays, uh, only relying on full-time job, I feel personally, maybe you have some different opinions, but today we are in an era where there are so many opportunities, and if we just close our eyes and we will say that I'm just focusing on one full-time job, that's my ultimate task, and that is what will give me the experience, it's not something which will work out. I don't feel nowadays degrees are that much valuable. uh, Maybe a few years back it was like, okay, he or she is from IIT, or she's having a very good degree, or she's working in some XYZ company. If you have your own brand value, that is something I feel will work out in future as well, and currently also. No one cares, you are having what kind of degree, you are from which college, you are from which company. Even Google is also at the end of the day laying off, right? So what I'm trying to convey is, please try to look for freelance opportunities, try to gain some great clients, work upon them, and you will be able to see that if you are working in a great way. Initially, don't be stubborn with the numbers in terms of, "Ki, this much package I want, this much salary I want." Be greedy in terms of work, not in terms of money. If you will do the good work, money will follow you at the end. So when you're starting your journey, I always say in the initial stage of your career, don't be greedy in terms of that this much package I want. Array, it's very easy to take a switch 50% or 100% hike after you get a experience of 1 year or 2 year. If you have a genuine knowledge, I'm saying people are ready to pay you if you will do a quality work. But the problem is many people don't know how to deliver a quality work, right? So that is where the gap is there. Gap is not that people are not giving us the money. They are ready to pay whatever you want, but you have to somehow show to them your credibility. That is where you guys are lacking, if you are lagging somewhere. So what I'm trying to convey here, be more active on social media platforms like LinkedIn, Twitter. Try to spend more time, network with good people, gain clients, do freelance work, gain experience, write that experience in your resume. Maybe no one will ask to your manager that what kind of work they have done. If you have a knowledge, you have done practically the project, write it in your resume, that I have worked in that project, and explain to the interviewer that this is what you have done, because it's an actual experience. You have done it. Maybe you have done it via freelancing, but no one is really focusing on that. If you have a skill set, again I'm saying people are ready to pay you whatever you want in terms of money. Money will follow you. Just make sure you will do, or write a quality work. Don't lag there. Do your effort in 100% way. Definitely at the end of the day, maybe after 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, you will see that you will get that money or that X amount of package which you really want today. Okay. So this is the way. These are the two ways. One way could be internal switch. Second way could be look for freelance opportunities, gain experience from there, and write that in your resume. I feel that should work.
Thanks, Priya. I wish I had known these things when I was working in a software company. I didn't know that, all these things that she has mentioned. And one thing that I like was do try internal job postings, internal job shift, right? That works really well. See, if I am founder of a company and if I have a vacancy for data science or AI/ML, and if I see an internal employee who is more interested in shifting, that would be even I know that this guy doesn't have experience in data science AI/ML, but that will save a lot of cost for me because I'll have to spend some money in hiring. A lot of people time will go into interviewing people and shortlisting, and many times when people are shortlisted they don't join, right? So they join and leave after some time. So IJP basically would be a very good thing. I mean, that you can try. That's a very good tip. I mean, I totally agree with that. And one more thing that she's mentioned is about freelancing. And I feel in the current scenario, it's very, very important that we all, as a working professional, have a side hustle. We have a side income because the way layoffs happen, I mean, the things have changed completely. Companies are shamelessly firing people, they are laying off, and it has become kind of trend. it used to happen a lot in US, but it is now very common in India. Basically, people don't think too much before firing now because they know everybody else is also doing it. So it's very, very important to have a side hustle on weekend or after office hours so that you can build something. And when you are trying to build something, you face a lot of challenges. As she said, you don't get money immediately. I'll give you my own example also. When I started Geeks for Geeks, for a long, long time, I think for 5 years almost, I was not making any money out of it. And in fact, I switched to a teaching job, which was a lower salary job. So there was a time in my life when I was at a lower salary, 15, 20,000 rupees per month, less to my software job. And I was paying 5,000 rupees per month for the servers of Geeks for Geeks. And there was no money coming from it. I mean, there was this time in my life, but that paid off really well. So money, as she said, automatically follow. Now, so Priya, I want to ask you, like, so we all know that we have told people here, those who are watching online, that you should begin something as a freelancing career. So everybody wants to do it. There's no doubt about it, right? Everybody wants to be there on the social media and want to showcase the work. Can you share your journey? Like, what are the challenges that you faced when you started your freelancing work? How did you overcome with them those challenges? And how did you reach the point where you are right now? And if I'm a beginner, uh, what are the things that I can learn from you so that I don't make the same mistakes and I can leapfrog my journey and become that freelancer or side hustle or side income person quickly?
So first thing is, in my experience, see, let me tell you, I'm from a tier 3 city. It's in Bhiwani, Haryana. So I completed my 12th. Until 12th I was there only. I didn't even went out for a trip also. So it's like I am like in a home in a four grounded space, and then I don't know how to talk to people. I'm not even comfortable in speaking at that point of time, because it happens, right? When you move out, that's the time where you feel like, okay, now you have to gain the confidence. And it's very important. That's the only reason I always say to the parents also that please send the students out, for their at least college. Many people are thinking that, it's good that if our son or daughter will be at their own home, because they protect, no, our parents. So that is the thing. So coming from that background to talking in front of everyone every week, coming on weekend sessions, taking the classes, it takes a lot of courage, right? So initially I was underestimating myself. I was like, when I went for the first time to Noida for GIIT, I met so many people who are from Delhi, many are from, like many people are from tier 1 city. And then I will be like, "Ki, how can I compete with them, or how can even I talk to them? I don't even know anything." Like, we underestimate, right? As per our background, कि हमारे पास तो इतना background अच्छा था ही नहीं. किसी के parents, many parents are, very very, having teaching profession, or having a doctor's profession. One of my roommate is having a doctor's profession. Their parents are, both of them are doctors. So I was very underconfident. And then I started gaining up. When you start uh, tackling the challenges, when you start learning the stuffs, that makes you confident. Ki, I know this stuff, I know this thing very well. And that is where your confidence starts. And then mentors plays a very important role. For me, to be very frank, I was just telling to Sandeep sir as well, my guide at JIT was Ashish Tripathi sir, and he plays a very important role in my life to push me for the GATE exam, also to help me out in order to gain a valuable knowledge in machine learning and big data, right? Mentors plays a very very important role in the life, right? There was one another mentor, Sakshi Vashne. So she was a finance teacher for me. So she also helped me to understand the finances part pretty well. So for me, I think I was fortunate enough, or I should say lucky enough, that I got this kind of parents who pushed me out, that okay, you can learn, you can explore. And then I got this kind of mentors who helped me in my journey in order to gain that kind of confidence. And that's why, when I'm teaching to anyone, I always feel that what mentors role they have played in my life, I should also have to play that role in other students' life, other learners' life, because it really depends, right, from where you're learning. Mentor can make a subject boring also, and they can make your subject interesting also. I can see so many people who fall in love with the subject of maybe DSA because of Sandeep sir, right? From his courses. They don't, they are very afraid that what is data structure, what is algorithm, how can we write a good code, how can we solve lead code based problems. But then what happens after watching the good mentors videos? We fall, we get interested that okay, this is the concept, oh, that much easy it is. So that is the thing which I think good mentors, it's a very huge responsibility for the learners, I believe so. And that is the important thing for me. And after that, when I started this journey, first challenge was underestimating myself, that I talked about because of my background. The second challenge was when I started my journey in IIT Hyderabad also. So I faced a lot of challenge in terms of networking with people. I always feel shy. I thought a lot when I started my YouTube channel. I was like, what if people will be like, "Ki, how she is speaking? She don't even know how to speak." How many of you feel the same thing? Ki, if I start creating a content, I don't know how many people will like my video. If I start creating a content on LinkedIn, I don't know how the comments will come. So that kind of fear, I would say, which really hampers our mind, ki, what if negative thing will happen. So after that, I learned from one novel. I have a habit of uh, uh, reading the novel. So I learned from that novel that just whenever you're doing something in your life, see the worst case scenario. What is the worst thing will happen? For example, let's say you are going for a company, you are going for an interview. See what worst will happen. I always say you will be rejected. Nothing less than that. But I have seen so many people who didn't even give the interview just for the fear of rejection. They're like, once I will prepare well, then I'll give the interview. When does that preparation well will come? There is no deadline for that. What is the worst thing will happen when you will give the interview? You will be rejected. That's it. You are working in a current company, you will get that same salary. No one is judging you that okay, you will get rejected, and even no one will post on LinkedIn ki I got rejected from this XYZ company, right? You just get the success post in the LinkedIn, right? 10 failures, after that 11 success, and that will be notified on LinkedIn. So you always see the success of other people, you don't see the rejections. I would say very few people talk about their own rejections in their life, right? They always talk about the success, the good things in their life, but the reality is everyone has their bad experiences as well. But it's like, by seeing other people's success, we underestimate ourselves कि मेरे में ही दिमाग कम होगा. I must have low IQ, but everyone is having a good IQ. They are someone who is very, very experienced, right? So please don't underestimate yourself. And second thing, don't be shy. We are in a generation where we should know how to network with people. We should know how to communicate with people and try to learn from each and every one. You will if you will be having that perspective in your life, I would definitely say your life will definitely get changed, and you will be able to learn so many things, even from a worker who is working in any of the XYZ places, right? So the last thing, don't be overconfident. If you get the success, don't be like कि अब तो आसमान छू लिया है मैंने, and now तो I will be like superhero. So success, and then there is a dip when you feel like that. Okay, so always be in that I have to learn whatever success, whatever things I want in my life, I'll have to achieve. And after that, I'll also help other people, other community members, other my friends, to, if they want, to help them out ki how you will be able to also learn from all these stuffs. So these three things, please take care of that. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Priya. Those are really nice things. And the thing that she mentioned about we fear a lot many times. So there's a saying, right? We lose more in imagination than reality, right? So we lose more imagining things. And the social media thing again. I mean, a lot of people share a lot of success on social media that impacts us. We feel like, and people don't talk about that. People say I got a job at Google, but they don't tell you like I got rejected 10, 12 times. And I strongly believe on average, everybody gets rejected at least 5, 6 times before getting a job, right? And that's the average. I don't have any data, but I talk to a lot of people. That's the average. But those 5, 6 rejections nobody shares about. Nobody says on social media that I've applied to this company and got rejected today, right? So we see them and we get like demotivated and we don't feel like acting on things and we lose in imagination. So that's the reality, and that's a very very valid point with social media thing. Now, coming back to data science, AI, ML. So, Priya, I see a lot of jobs around data science, AI, ML on different job portals, and these job roles are like ML ops, ML engineer, data engineer, data analyst, data scientist. So, could you please tell us about what these different roles are and what these people do in these companies? And what are the skills required to be an ML ops, to be an ML engineer, to be a data scientist, to be a data engineer?
So many people usually ask from me that if, let's say, we are from a known programming background, and if, let's say, for the very first time I want to make a switch, so it's very easy for you to go for, first of all, data analytics. It's your very first path, good to go. Why? Because it requires less coding. Secondly, it requires very, very less effort as comparable to working in data science specific domain. Why I'm saying so? There is a reason behind that. When you're talking about data analytics, the major role which you will do in that tech domain is that you will, as the name suggests, analyze the data with the help of tools that we have. For example, Power BI, W, MS Excel. For that, you require knowledge of SQL. For that, you require knowledge of EDA, Python programming language, and tools. Basically, knowledge is required, right? In future, chat gpt, you can see, right, Google Bard, Gemini, which we say, we have Cloud AI. How many of you are aware about Cloud AI? No one. Maybe please after the session, just go and explore chat gpt. I think everyone, right? So it's a very big competitor nowadays of chat gpt, Cloud AI. Okay, CLAUD AI. So Anthropic, by Anthropic company, it's a tool which is competing with the chat gpt and doing some amazing things.
And I guess it doesn't process your data, your personal data.
Yes.
Right? That's the advantage.
Yes, and even in chat gpt, if you're not having a paid version, you cannot upload a file, right? There's not an option. In Cloud AI, you can until a limit of 5 to 10 MB. Monthly subscription is same, $20. But anyhow, so you can just go and explore about this tool. So what I'm saying is, nowadays we have these tools which will basically help us to analyze the data, right? Now, what you should know, now people will say, I will lose my job. Now these tools are coming up, they will do. As a human being, whatever logical thinking we have, whatever task we can do, I feel no machine will be able to do that efficient task. So what is your major thing is, you should know how to write a better prompt. What is the meaning of that? How to write a better question in a way to achieve a better outcome from these tools. And after that, you can just apply on. So it will give a basic draft. For example, I'm a content creator. I want to go for one workshop. So what I will do, I will write to ChatGPT or Cloud AI that as a content creator having expertise in data science, I'm planning to go for a workshop for a data science specific domain. Can you please suggest me the script of that? So it will give you a good draft. But by saying that, don't copy paste. Then to everyone knows. They can also learn from ChatGPT why they're coming here. On top of this, try to apply your own expertise, that what other things I can improvise on top of that. Similarly, same thing for LinkedIn writing as well, right? So in order to do the data analytics part, you should have a good tools knowledge. You should know how to write a better prompt. You should know the basic Python programming language and mathematical knowledge. So it's your first path if you want to go for data specific domain. Okay. Second, after that, second path will be, second way to be is data scientist, in which your focus is not only to analyze the data, but also to make the predictions. Let's say in Bangalore HSR layout, there are flats available. Okay, builders are building their properties, and in future, maybe after 5 years, they will either go for rent out or they are planning to sell it out. Now we have to make predictions. Ki after 5 years, as per the today's data of HSR layout, maybe they have market, mall opening, maybe different localities, right? Whatever be the parameters we have, number of bedrooms, number of balconies. With the help of those features, can we predict that after 5 years, what could be the possible charge of that particular home? Maybe 7 crore, 10 crore, 12 crore, 15, I don't know. Depending upon the features. After 5 years, I want to make the predictions as per the today's data. So that is where these machine learning algorithms, that is where these neural networks, deep learning based data will come into picture. When I'm talking about deep learning, they are dealing with image based data. When you're working with medical data, it's a machine learning task. But anyhow, I'm categorizing it as a data science part. So anyhow, whenever you want to just not do the analysis, but also want to make predictions out of that, that is where data science will come into picture. For that, you need to have a good knowledge of ML, DL, computer vision, NLP, right? All these generative AI. There is a lot more things which are required when you are applying for data science specific domain, right? That's why the easy path would be data analyst. That's why the salary is also low. If you will see the salary of the people for data analytics, it's quite low as comparable to data scientist people. So second, after that, data scientist. So once you enter into data analytics, start learning again for machine learning, for NLP, for deep learning, whatever interests you, whatever kind of data interests you. If textual data, go explore NLP. If image data, explore deep learning. If numerical data, explore ML. Everyone has different tastes, and accordingly, please try to learn all those stuffs. Once you get a good understanding of data science, maybe after that, if you feel like that, okay, there is somewhere in the pipelining I'm lagging my knowledge, you can go for data engineering as well. So that is where a tech stack of big data is required. Hadoop, MapReduce, Spark. Like nowadays, you can see there is a huge data, right? In every particular domain, the data is in TBs, in MBs, right? So how can we be able to handle that data? How can we be able to process that data in an efficient manner? For that, a big data tech stack is required. So these are the three specific domains: data analytics, then data science, in which specifically you can talk ML engineer, you can talk NLP engineer, you can talk computer vision engineer, and so on. After that, data engineering is also there, for which big data tech stack is required, for which is basically used in order to process the huge amount of data. When data size is very huge, when we try to create a data pipeline end to end, in that case, that tech stack is required. Again, I'm repeating, you cannot grasp the knowledge in one go. Start your journey with data analytics. Then as a second step, maybe you can go for these two are, you have to choose in that path. Either you can go for data science or you can go for data engineering. They're interdependent of each other, independent of each other. If you have a knowledge of both of them, it's a plus thing. If you don't have, any one of them will also work out well. Both of them almost have an equivalent package in the industry as well. So this is how the things will go.
Thanks, Priya. Very well explained. And one more thing that I would like to add here is, see, these vast number of roles and different roles are there typically in well-established company. If you go for a startup, in a startup of 5 people, the founder is doing everything, right? And if it's a company of say 50 people, then a person who has learned data science, AI, ML would be ML ops, would be data analyst, would be data scientist, would be doing everything. So it all depends what type of company you are joining. If you're joining a well-established company, then there will be different roles. But if you are in a startup, then it might happen that you would be doing everything. So for example, when we started, our initial tech team was doing everything, DevOps, and now we have a DevOps team, separate DevOps team, 4 or 5 people working in the DevOps. But initially, everybody was doing everything when we were a small team. So that's how the teams are structured. Now I'll cover a bit about the offline classes here. Priya takes the classes of data analytics here, and then we'll have the question answer session. So, Priya, tell us about the course that we do here, and how are we different from other courses, and what all we teach in the offline classes here.
So for now, the weekend batches are going on. I think one batch already have finished with a very great response. It was the first time I have seen that the drop ratio of students in that DA1 batch, I was telling to DA2 students as well, is very, very less. Usually what happened is in virtual sessions or in recorded paced videos, I feel, because I'm teaching from the past 3 years, I have taken virtual sessions more, and it's for the very first time taking physical sessions, right? So the major difference, which sir was asking about, that the major difference which I felt is the drop ratio. People are motivated till the very end, and there are few people who got a job offer as well. There are few people who are interviewing at that point of time. I'm not sure that what is the outcome at the end of the day they will be able to get, but in the journey itself, in their batches, like in between, someone got a job and then they are saying that, Priya, I have to shift from Bangalore to Pune, so maybe we will join virtually. So it's a hybrid mode sessions. If people want to join virtually, if let's say they're not in Bangalore, or like the way I'm saying, people got a job and let's say they want to shift from Bangalore to Pune or from Noida to Noida, so they can, and they will continue their course in a hybrid manner. Second thing, so one thing which I observed is the drop ratio, which is very, very less, because you get the environment, you get the feel ki acha, students are learning. You will talk to each other and you'll be like, okay, you have done that project. Acha, how you have done that? In virtual mode, we are not connected this much. Whatever you will say, it's good in terms of ki now the people who are from tier 3 city also, they can learn from amazing mentors, which was not there when the internet was not that much available in the tier 3 cities. But now after Geo came, right, everyone can learn from anywhere. That's a good thing. Like everything has its own pros and cons, but the good thing in the physical sessions is people are interested, they are coming till the very end of the session, and there are so many people who are there till the very end, from the start till the very end, and single class also they didn't miss. I'm very bad in remembering the names, and I remember the names of the students. It means they came on a every week basis. So that's the proof. Okay. So apart from this, the curriculum that we have designed in these batches is as per the industry standards. You will observe that whatever tools we are learning in this complete data analytics batch, all these tools are currently going on, whether it be Excel, whether it be Power BI, whether it be the knowledge of SQL, which is not even required for data analytics, but also required for data science, data engineering, whatever tech domain you will go for the data part per se. I think SQL is something which is very, very important. So this is another module that we have. Apart from this, we have a module of stats. So whatever key things I told you, right, in order to have expertise of data analytics or data science, all these things are covering up, because this course is focused on data analytics. We are not covering up any machine learning algorithms and all those stuffs. Maybe in future we will plan to launch the separate batch for data science per se, where we will focus on the algorithms which I'm talking about. For example, machine learning, deep learning, NLP, and so on. But for this course, which I'm taking for now, is data analytics, where the focus is on analysis of data, where the focus is on how can we, if let's say I will provide you Excel file, how will you able to get an insight from that data so that it will help the company to generate a revenue. That's the ultimate task. For that, we have several steps. So whatever key steps are required, whatever skill set is required, whatever tools knowledge are required, all these things we are covering up in this curriculum. For every module, we are covering up a practical project so that people will get a hands-on knowledge. It's not that they just have a theoretical idea that what are the things we have, what is SQL, what are the commands. Whatever sessions we are conducting, we are focusing on doing a practical stuff. That's why you will observe the people who are coming, they always bring laptop with them. For the first day when they don't bring, I will always say, please, from the next day onwards, you should have your own laptop, so that you, whatever things I'm doing. So one thing is I will also do a live implementation. It's not like I have some file available with me, I'll open that and I'll talk with the code. No, I'll also write the code with you all. And then after that, let's say if we got some error, if we got some challenge on the live itself, everyone is discussing with each other, okay, this is what we can do. They are telling me sometimes, so it happens. I'm also a human being, mistakes happen with me as well. So Priya, this is what you have done, maybe wrong, I think we can do like that. So it's not like mentor students, it's like friendship, networking, right? We are discussing colleagues, teammates. It's like knowledge transfer going on, KT, like that, which we done in industries, in companies. That kind of environment you will feel here, because everyone in this batch, maximum people I would say, are industry professionals who are having a very good experience of 5 years, 10 years, 3 years, 1 year. I think in a DA2 batch, only single student was there when on the very first day I asked to them to introduce themselves. So only single student I remember who is a fresher. Apart from that, everyone is experienced, so they know the things. How can we do in an appropriate manner? That's a good thing. So I feel all these things cumulative together makes a wholesome journey for me. I really enjoyed these physical sessions. It's the second batch which is going on, and we're planning to launch the third batch very soon.
All right, Priya. So before people join here, the people who come for the classes, what kind of questions they ask you, what kind of doubts they have, and even when you are taking classes, you teach regularly things, but there must be like some interesting questions, some interesting discussions that you had. Maybe you can share some of those discussions, some real examples that you had interacted with the students here.
So the one common question which is for everyone. See, many people who join these batches are those people who are currently working in a company, but they're somehow working in this specific domain of data analyst, but they don't have the projects to showcase to the interviewers. That is the gap again. Because see, many companies are there, they give you a position name, but internal work, something they are giving you some different thing. It's very common for maximum people. Second thing, so it means that they don't have a knowledge actually, because they have not worked upon that, so they don't have a knowledge, they feel a gap is there. Second kind of students or learners who came here are those who are working in a company but in a separate tech domain. They don't even have an idea about what is data analytics, how will it work. And third variety of people are those who are having a career gap, specifically women's. So maybe because of the pregnancy issues or because of some personal issues, they won't be able to continue their job, and now they have 2 years of experience and 2 years of gap, and then they want to go enter into this particular domain. So their one common question is, Ki Priya, at the end of the day, whether we will be able to properly respond to the interviewers or not, whether we will be able to showcase our knowledge or not, right? Whether we will be able to communicate properly or not, whether we will be able to gain that level of confidence or not. I remember a guy on the very first day he came and he told me that, Priya, I came from Rajasthan, from one village. And he said that I came here after a fight with my father. मैंने कहा क्यों? What happened? Why you came here after a fight with your father? Your father doesn't support you in terms of studies, and what happened? He said that, Priya, I completed my bachelor's from Jaipur, Rajasthan only, and after that I didn't get a job, and my father is very upset with me. He said that now you are purchasing a course. I know you won't be able to achieve something from this course as well. So one request from this part is, please, the only motivation which students have is their parents. So don't demotivate them by saying these words. But anyhow, he said this thing to me and it feels so bad to me. And he was like crying at that point of time. And he said that at the end of the course, what I want is I will be in a situation where I can speak to anyone confidently, where I will be able to crack the interviews. And many people want the same thing only after purchasing the course, right? But what I told to him and what I always say to everyone is, don't focus this much on the outcome, right? Even no one knows, like how, like people prepare for UPSC exam and they spend so many years, and after that they have so much burden in, like, what will happen? Life will not go in that direction what I have planned for. So you don't know what is the outcome. Always I think ki you should work on the present, and the only thing which I always say, works hard, right? See that whatever things I'm learning in a very interesting manner. I know end to end things in a practical way. Focus on your learning. Job, money, I think few minutes back I said the same thing. They will follow you. HR will come to you and say to you that, we are having a job position open, will you be able to join our company? So don't focus on whether I will be able to get a job, whether I will be able to get some XYZ salary. this much. You should have something in your head what you want to achieve, but on a daily basis, if you're learning and if you're focusing just on the outcome ki ye mil jaye, just don't be desperate to enter, for anything ki, that is what I want, right? So focus on your learning, enjoy the journey, enjoy the process of your learning, and find interest in whatever things you are doing. Find your ikigai, right? And at the end of the day, whatever outcome is coming up, it's like just see that okay, this is the thing which is happening to me currently. Maybe for future something good is happening. That's why this thing happened. So that is what I can convey from this particular thing. And this is one incident I told you. There are so many people who came here just for this purpose, but for him also I told the same line, and for everyone I am saying again, don't focus too much on the outcome. Everything whatever you are desiring today will definitely you will be able to gain if you struggle day and night. If you yourself will be honest to yourself that I'm working very very hard, definitely you will be able to achieve.
Very well said, Priya. I mean, I would have answered the same things. And those answers, those guidelines were really apt. I mean, they were well to the point. I mean, you should enjoy the process. And if you're honest with yourself, if you're working hard, the outcome will definitely come. It might, I mean, luck also plays a role. It might happen that somebody gets an opportunity before you, even you feel like you know things better. But if you keep honestly working, you will definitely reach there. I mean, that is very well mentioned by Priya with examples also. So that is all from my side and Priya's side, and we are open for the questions. So audience, please feel free to ask any question that you have. Yeah, sure.
Hi everybody, and hi Sandeep sir, Priya ma'am. Uh, so first of all, sir, I have some personal feelings. So I'm standing here in Geeks for Geeks, and I've started my uh, college journey right in 2016, and the first time when C was introduced in my life. So I was about to check the internet and where I can see the resources. So the first link that came to me was Geeks for Geeks, and kudos to you that you brought Geeks for Geeks to this height that is today. So here's a round of applause, and it's a completely for me. If Neerav is in this room, I have been asking Neerav, so I wanted to meet Sandeep sir because it's a dream come true for me. So having said this, sir, I have a question like as you both have depicted in a very well mannered and in a very structured manner, like how can we, even I work at Accenture as a data engineering analyst, and I think Priya was somehow in 1/4 of the part was mentioning about my story as well. So I'm designated as a data engineering analyst at Accenture, but I don't do any data related work. So like I'm also a student at DA2 batch in which Priya teaches us. So like going forward, how can I more inculcate within me like the course which definitely I'm having here, the learnings definitely which I'm gaining from here, but going down like 5 years down the line into my journey, and I wanted to be into this. So the Accenture has given me the tag, but I want to continue with this tag in my real implementation. So how can I basically continue that journey of mine where I keep on growing myself professionally as well as personally, and also create my own self brand? Like, what would be your guidelines, sir? Yeah.
All right. First of all, thanks for the appreciation, man. I mean, it means a lot, and that's the kind of appreciation I have been getting in Bengaluru, and I really love it, man. I mean, I that's why I said I want to be here for another month, and the kind of love people show here, the kind of crowd we have of software developers, they've all consumed Geeks for Geeks once. I mean, at least once in their life when they were preparing. So I really love all that. Now, coming to the question, I mean, even I have reached that stage in my life, those kind of doubts, those kind of things always come to our mind that, I mean, where am I heading from here? Would it work or not? That happens with everybody, and even the problems arise with everybody. Uh, I mean, I'll talk about ChatGPT. So what happened was when ChatGPT was launched, our tech team, our CTO, they were all using it, and they told me in the office that here is a tool that can generate all the code that can basically help you in any question. So they all had this doubt what will happen to us now, because that's what people use Geeks for Geeks for. They come to ask the questions, they see the codes, and ChatGPT is able to generate all of that. And for a day, I was like, I just said कि ऐसे बहुत सारे tool आते हैं, let's ignore it for some time. And that was very, very new. So our tech team is very young and they keep exploring different things. So at that moment, I said, there are a lot of tools which have been coming and I'll see it and how well it is doing. Then I went home, and on a weekend, I tried it myself. I was preparing JavaScript codes for GeeksforGeeks. And when I tried that, I actually got an error in a code, and I thought, why to fix myself? People were telling about this error. Let me try it myself. So I tried ChatGPT. That's when I opened it first time, and I posted the code. I didn't even ask it what is the error and tell me the error. I just posted the code, and within few seconds, it told me that you have passed a parameter incorrectly here, or you have missed a parameter here. I was like, I mean, what we have been teaching for a so long time, and if I am a teacher and it will take me a lot of time to figure out the error. I'll have to go through the code that somebody else has written. I'll have to understand the variables. So this kind of demotivation happens in everybody. Like I felt very demotivated also, to be very frank, that day. Like what is my role going to be? What is my role as a teacher? But I mean, the way I looked at it later time, I mean, I was like, ठीक है, tool आ गया. Now how do I use it? Basically, that's the thing I changed. For a day, I was like demotivated. Next day, I started thinking, how do we use it in our company? How do we automate the processes? And that's what we started working upon. And we also know that we have a different role to play as a company and Geeksforgeeks, and that applies to personal level also. You always have these doubts that this is changing, that is changing, what will happen tomorrow. But if you keep thinking about it, let the demotivation be down for some time and think logically, the solutions come and you become success with time. It just takes more time. I mean, for me also, I mean, whatever I built GeeksforGeeks over the time, it has taken me 15 years. And there are people who've done it earlier than that. I mean, but I strongly believe if you keep giving time to something, you definitely get success. I strongly believe in the theory of Forrest Gump movie, where a guy who is not, I mean, I am like the same, I'm not the smartest, not the best. I was never good in academics, never good in sport, never good at anything. But I kept doing GeeksforGeeks for 15 years. So as you said, if you keep working on this data science thing for 5 years, and if you work honestly and these small problems don't disturb you, don't leave it, basically you will definitely get a success. Nobody can stop you, basically, until unless there are something which go very, very wrong. Your luck is not all together with you, but there are high chances that you will become successful. Any other question?
Hello. So, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, sir. Sir, I'm so glad that I'm here. So, I have seen all your DSA video from starting. One of my friend has sent the link of DSA in the Telegram. So, I won't officially purchase that, but I was full motivated to learn from you. Like you have explained all that code in a very simple way, like not some language dependent kind of thing. So, for that, sir, thank you, sir. And sir, one my question is that I am very keen interested in data science kind of thing. So I'm learning ML from past 3 months or 4 months. So my question to the Priya ma'am is that ma'am, as you said, we should not go deep diving to that mathematical induction, right? So in how because I am kind of struck from last 5 to 7 days because right now I am learning SVM, right? So there is some mathematical induction intuition code is there. So I am trying to figure out what I am feeling very much complicated for now. So for in up to how many part or up to how many mathematical knowledge should we have for the particular algorithm, so that we can understand that algorithm in a kind of better way.
So have you checked the curriculum of maybe some good universities, Stanford, MIT, whatever be the maths they have mentioned from standard resources, I'm saying. Have you checked at any point of time?
No, not it.
The problem with us is that, we are very fond to watch the shorts by great influencers. There is nothing bad in that, but there are very valuable resources available for free on YouTube, on internet. For example, if you will go, there is Stanford machine learning lectures are available on YouTube. Have you ever watched that?
Yeah, I tried to watch, but it was kind of it's went over
Overwhelming.
my head.
Overwhelming.
Yeah.
So that's where I think these courses came into picture again. So basically, what I'm trying to convey here is that, try to check out the curriculum for the people who are pursuing masters in this specific domain. For example, I have finished my masters in AI, so it's very easy for me to understand that what are the topics which are required to understand this. But for a people who are not aware about the subject and they're learning and they just have done their bachelor's, so you have the internet access. Every IIC Bangalore publish their curriculum with respect to what in masters mathematical topics they will teach. So whatever be the curriculum they have designed, this is designed by professors who have completed their PhD from a very good colleges like Stanford. So what I'm trying to convey is from that you will get an idea that okay, these topics are a part of a curriculum. So it means that these topics are important for me to understand the subject of machine learning or deep learning or NLP, right? For example, in stats, there are two different topics. One is inferential stats, one is descriptive stats. So whatever topics are available with respect to descriptive and inferential as a part of a curriculum in data science, try to learn those things only, because when you're talking about stats, people are doing masters in stats as well. So there are so many friends of mine in IIT Hyderabad who have done masters and who were doing the masters in specific this domain also. So we don't want to go and deep dive into this particular subject, because there is, again, it's a very vast domain. We just have to understand this much, that we will be able to understand the algorithms behind that, internal intuition behind that. For that, I think the better way is to check the curriculum of the good websites, see the top subtopics which are mentioned, and step by step maybe write it somewhere, note it somewhere in your sticky notes, document your learning. That's very important. So start after that step by step learning those topics. That's it. That's the only thing which you're supposed to do, right?
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
sir.
And please let us know the Telegram channel name. We would look into it.
Any other questions? Can you pass the mic?
Hello, sir. Hello, ma'am. So I am in third year. I am targeting GATE exam. So and also my interest is in DSA and data science. How should I focus and on different things? Like there is also fear of missing out, and there is also interest of doing all these things. And PMM, you must have been there at some point. So how to proceed with this? Like to focus on GATE exam, or to focus on DSA or data science, or first do something and then later do other things like that.
Why you want to do GATE?
Because I want to pursue higher studies.
Why you want to pursue higher studies?
Because I want to pursue research.
Okay, so you have an interest in research. That's why.
Yeah.
So are you planning to go for masters or PhD directly?
No, for M.Tech specifically.
For M.Tech.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So now I think GATE has introduced also the subject of data science, as
Yeah.
far as I have a knowledge,
Yeah,
right?
but my interest
Yes.
is in computer science.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, first of all, with this indication itself, I think everyone's supposed to understand that why is this domain is important. Now, GATE syllabus also includes this data science subject, right? So it means there is something in it which we everyone have to understand. Even in the colleges also nowadays, specialization is there in AI and data science, which was not there at my time. So definitely the knowledge of this subject is very, very important. Coming back to his question, see, again, the same thing which I was talking to him, that in GATE also we have multiple subjects. And if we will deep dive into every subject, कि DSA पकड़ लिया तो DSA बस कर ही रहे हैं, questions कर रहे हैं, फिर उसके बाद computer networks है, operating system है, right? There are so many subjects in GATE we have. So maybe I would, like personally, I have taken the coaching properly, physical coaching for the GATE exam, and I have tried to take multiple mock tests focused on previous year questions in my journey, which really helped me, right? Because again, we cannot deep dive into any single subject. There is a lot many things. just make sure if you can take a course where the experienced mentors are teaching who already have cracked gate exam, and they know the end-to-end curriculum, they know how the questions are being designed, they know this year who is the one designing the gate pattern, right? Different IITs usually design, right? It also depends on that particular aspect as well. So depending upon that, I think those mentors will be the one which will definitely guide you that what are the topics which you have to focus more. And when you are preparing for this journey, just make sure solve as many previous year questions as you can, because that will help you to understand the pattern, that how the questions will come. It's kind of reverse engineering. For example, let's say you got any question of gate exam and you feel that this topic I'm not aware of, so you will start learning that, okay, let me try to learn today what is this topic is all about. So first of all, complete the syllabus curriculum, which is designed by any course, if you can take, if you have that much idea that which is the university or the college which is giving us a better, course available for this particular gate exam. Check the mentor's detail, who is teaching the right subjects, and then start preparing for that. At the end, I believe gate learning is, if even if you crack or not able to crack any IIT, or if you went for masters or not, I don't care, like you will feel that this gate subject will really help you to build your strong foundations. I always believe that I have a very good skill set over the foundational part. The only reason is I have prepared for gate exam, I believe so, because my BTech knowledge, to be very frank, is very limited. But when I started learning about these gate exams, even though I didn't able to crack for the very first time, I told you, right, but still I was like कि मैंने इतना knowledge ले लिया है ना कि I'm not regretting it. So I think for once everyone should prepare for this gate exam, and I think it's not that much expensive also. Go for it, appear, because it's just a focus on foundations. It's not focusing much more on DSA lead code hard level problems, right? So it's a very foundational topics will be there, and you will be able to understand that how much knowledge you have in terms of computer science basic subjects, and now data science is also there. So mathematical skills also you have to improve. So I feel getting a structured course plan would be a better idea rather than doing a self preparation. And at the end of the day, if by bad luck you won't be able to get a good rank or any IIT, don't get demotivated, because whatever learning you will be able to gain, you will always embrace that. Sir, you also must have given the gate exam, right?
Right.
So please share your experience also.
Right. So, I when you said no, I want to do research, I kind of remember a very interesting story. I appeared in GATE exam in third year, and then I got 91 point some percentile. In final year, I got 95.66 percentile, and then I appeared after 1 year of gap, and I got 99.5 some percentile. I mean, I got IIT Roorkee, and my reason for doing GATE was I wanted to go for a teaching job. I was already teaching in an engineering college, and to be a successful teacher, you need to have masters and then PhD. So my idea of life was that I'll do masters and then PhD, then settle as a professor in an IIT or NIT. That was my life goal. So when I appeared in GATE exam, and so I don't know right now. There used to be a lot of interviews in IIT. So IIT Roorkee, when I appeared for the interview, although I was selected, but the interview experience was not very good. The professor asked me the same question, like Priya asked. Why do you want to give the GATE exam? And I answered the same answer, that I want to do research. I kind of lied because I knew I want to be a teacher. So he was like, he looked at my mark sheets and he said, your marks don't tell the same thing. So be ready. If these guys take interviews, be ready for these kind of question counter, because IIT professors, they are very strict. I mean, I appeared in a lot of IIT interviews after do they have interviews even now? So they basically are very strict, and they make a lot of fun out of the tier 3 students who go there. I remember in IIT Kanpur also, this guy asked me to write a code on the board, and I got stuck, and they were all laughing at me. So this kind of basically interviews happen, and then the professor said, you had got 91, then 95, then 99. You should have appeared one more time. You would have got rank 1. So that was again one thing he mentioned. But and then they asked some technical questions. Now coming to how to prepare for GATE exam. Whatever Priya has mentioned, I mean, I completely agree with all that. One more thing I would say is try to solve the previous year papers as well. And in case of data analytics, data science, there are not many previous year papers, but there must be some common syllabus which is there in this data analytics and which was there in computer science. So I would say solve the previous year papers, and that is what I did in my GATE preparation. I solved all the previous papers in the last month. I was working somewhere, so I prepared in the last month. And whenever I used to get stuck in any question, I used to read a standard book to understand how this theory works and how does this particular topic work. So that kind of worked for me. And one more thing, one more interesting thing she had mentioned is, and I completely agree with this, everybody should give a GATE exam. I mean, if you are a computer science student or if you want to pursue in data science and analytics, because the kind of questions they ask, if you look at any GATE previous year paper, they are so fundamental. They are not like hard problems ki bahut sara coding karna hai, and they don't repeat the questions also. Like even in company interviews, they repeat the questions. And they're so fundamentals, you would enjoy solving them if you're good at fundamentals. And you'll make a mistake and then you'll realize, okay, this thing is, I missed this thing. And this is so fundamental to the data science or computer science. That's really beauty. Even if you don't want to do masters, if you don't want to do research, I would suggest that everybody should give the GATE data science if you're a data science or data analytics candidate.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, sir. Hello, ma'am. So, sir, I have a question related to the current job market right now. So, I've been preparing BSA for like last 6 months, and now I feel pretty confident that I can go for interviews. But the situation is that my resume is not getting selected. So, like, for last 1 month, I've been constantly applying in many companies, startups, and many product-based companies also. But yeah, I don't understand like where I'm getting it wrong. Why I'm not getting interview calls. So
See,
yeah.
I think you need to apply more places. There's no limit to it. And what happens with a lot of candidates, they apply to say 10 companies. They don't get an interview call. They feel like, I mean, there's something wrong with my profile, something wrong with me. And if I apply to 20 more companies, maybe I would not get a call. That's not the case. Actually, you should apply to unlimited number of companies. There are thousands of companies, and companies do reject candidates. So and the kind of entrepreneurship culture we have in India, basically, especially in Bengaluru, I mean, there would be a lot of startups where you can just say, I don't need a salary. I would just work for you. You are doing an interesting project. I can just be an asset for you, and I can build something. The technology that you are using, I have knowledge in this, and I can do something about it. So that can also be an approach. And if you feel like this company is not giving any salary and there's something fishy, you can also say no to HR, like the way HR say no. So my idea would be to apply more and more companies and don't give up on applying. Basically, even if you're not getting interview calls, there's no limit. There are thousands of lakhs of companies. I mean, you can apply everywhere. I mean, and be more active on all job portals, whether it is Naukri, GeeksforGeeks job portal, LinkedIn, everywhere. And it's all about match finding. I mean, there are recruiters who are always going to LinkedIn. They particularly need a person in that particular location with that particular skill. They might find a match with you. So just keep applying, keep updating your resume, keep participating in the job events. And even after 100 applications, you feel like nobody is calling, keep still applying. I mean, that's the mantra I would say. And Priya, you want to add anything?
Also, like I feel many people just pass one resume to every company. That's the biggest mistake you usually do. Try to improvise your resume depending upon which position you are applying. For example, you are saying I have a skill set of data analytics also, but I am also equally good with machine learning skill set also. But let's say tomorrow you are applying for data analytics job role in a company. Change your resume accordingly, because nowadays we have ATS compliant, like HR is not looking your resume. There is a machine. Just try to make sure you are, if there is a keyword match will be there internally. Again, NLP based algorithms are there. So if there is a keyword match, it will give you a score. HR will check that score. If it is very high, then only they will aage pass out your resume. Okay. So how the score will be good if the keywords are matching with their job profiles. So always whenever any job opening will be there, they will always mention that what are the skill set they're looking for in a candidate. So accordingly, maybe change your keywords in your resume. For example, in the skill set section, suppose let's say they have mentioned that we want a candidate who is having a knowledge of AWS, GCP, Azure, or let's say they have mentioned that we are looking for a people who are good with the Excel. right? Depending upon the two profiles. Machine learning engineer profile will prefer more focus on the machine learning algorithms, but data analytics profile will focus more on the tools. So depending upon that, you have to change your resume a bit. You have to fine tuning. This is what we call in machine learning, fine tuning, right? So you have to fine tune your resume as per the demand of the company, as per the job profile of the company. Keep on changing that. Don't make, for example, I have seen so many people who just made the resume. First of all, they didn't have spent their time. They asked the template from their seniors. Then they just get the template, do the edit, name badal diya, email ID badal di, phone number badal diya, everything will remain same. And then they pass that resume to multiple companies. And then they are saying that the calls are not coming up. You have to understand that for every company, their demand is different. Their requirements are different, and depending upon that requirements, you have to fine tune your resume, change your resume a bit, and then send to the HR. You have to start doing a cold mailing as well, right? So what is the meaning of that? Basically, you will start reaching on your own to the HRs. If you will go to LinkedIn, you will find that position is there. For example, you will see that on Amazon, there is a position of machine learning engineer. First of all, go to the careers profile of Amazon, check out what is the job ID which we have. Then check out the people who are working currently in Amazon with that position. Send them a connection request. Now again, same rule which sir has said, send to multiple people, because it's not that everyone will respond to you. Many people will be busy, they might not respond you. But if you will send multiple people request, at least one will respond to you, right? So you can ask from them that, can you, now when you are sending a message, don't say hello, hi, how are you, and full stop. No one will respond to you. Send a formal message, proper template, with your resume, with your job position ID, that okay, this is the position I'm looking for, I have this much skill set, and this is what I am doing, this is my work experience, this is my academia skills, everything you have written in a proper manner, attaching a resume with the job ID. Can you please apply the referral for that, like that? Apart from this, check the HR who is working in that company. Give the email ID will be there, send the email to her that this is the profile which I'm looking for, sorry, I'm just want to apply for, do you have the positions? I have just now checked it out in the careers website, it is available. Also check out engineering managers who are working in that company. Chances are very high that if they will refer you, you will be able to get a better chance for technical interview rounds. So it depends. So what I'm saying is, rather than directly applying to the companies, one step more, what you can do is ask for referrals, because usually referrals work in a better manner as comparable to directly applying to the company's careers portal. And start mailing out in a formal manner, whether on LinkedIn or on a formal mail, which I'm talking about. I think that would help.
And one more question I have. Apart from the DSA and foundational subject, there is one more thing, system design. So, like, is it really important to study system design for the SD1 roles? Or
So, are you a fresher or you?
No, I'm experienced. I'm currently working.
Also, for experienced people, system design and low-level design, those are important. I mean, they are kind of they're considered as fundamentals only, and they might ask you in the interview. Although in the online rounds, it has become kind of very common that they give you a high coding challenge and then you solve the problems. But when it comes to face-to-face, they might ask you. The problem with tech hiring is there is no limited scope. Anybody can ask you anything. There are thousands of companies, and every company has all different interviewers, and many of the companies have not standardized the interview process. So one interviewer from one company is asking something and other interviewer is asking something else. Even I remember when I appeared in interviews on campus, there was a company that asked me a puzzle in the interview. And I mean, puzzle, if you know the answer, you can answer it. In a pressure environment, you can't solve a puzzle. Right, so that's the problem. But again, data, low-level design, high-level design, they are kind of considered fundamentals. And if you're working professional, then they are more important than a fresher.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Yeah. Hi, good afternoon, everyone.
Hello.
Yeah. So nice to see, Sandeep sir and Priya. So when I was in college, so like along with Ashish Pranwal, I mean, who started as moderator, right? So it was quite motivating, and yeah, we used to learn. And so yeah, now seeing you here in person, it's quite overwhelming. So the question that I want to ask is that like many of my friends, like who are working at different places like Google and Microsoft, even they now, I mean, they want to don't completely switch to data science, right? But in their project, they need to apply at some of the places or integrate. Some of my friends who are in finance, right? They they are not technical guys, but they want to actually plan out in what use case I can apply and all. So a basic kind of learning is not enough for them, but and if they're doing advanced learning, right, so that is too much and overkill for them. So in that case, what would be the approach which should be followed, so that, I mean, they have good understanding? Definitely the fundamentals is a way to go, but how do you suggest?
So I remember there was a guy named Rohit from my DA1 batch, and he's also a senior. Uh, like we have awarded him a certificate of excellence also in DA1 batch. So that is the same issue which he was stuck in. So he's having a managerial position, and he said to me that, Priya, I'm not here for getting a job, or I'm not here to switch to my company. I'm very good in my company where I'm working currently. The only objective is that I'm facing a trouble now. Things have changed, technology have changed, and the people who are working under me, it seems they are more knowledgeable than me. So I'm not able to get that pace. So that is where I'm landing to this course. So what I'm trying to convey here is that maybe you need to see, first of all, if possible, you can look for the structured courses, because that will help the people to not do a self-paced work, because there are so many resources, right? And everyone is very getting confused which particular resource we should follow. So if you can get a structured course, if you are not that much financially compliant, you can just go for that and start gaining the knowledge. Nothing is too much or overwhelming. Always, if you gain a knowledge, it will be a plus point, right? You are saying that if they will take more knowledge, they will be again in that situation that, okay, it's too overwhelming. But I feel if there will be a structured curriculum and the mentor is really great, having a good experience and confident in what they are teaching. So I feel that that's a good idea, specifically for those people who are in a good position in their company, because they can easily afford, these things. They can easily upskill themselves. And I must say that now is a time where even the people who are in a very good job position role, they also have a need to upskill themselves, because things are changing, and maybe they have a 15 years of experience, they have a 20 years of experience, but the things which are coming currently, and you never know, after 5 years, I don't know what will happen, because the way the things are changing so frequently. If the person is very stubborn that, I am having 15 years of experience in Java development now, so I will not switch in data science, this is very new for me. People get, they're not that much flexible. When you gain that much experience, it's usually not feasible also. But if you have to survive in the industry, that's the fact that you have to learn by upskilling yourself on weekends. Please do join conferences, please do join workshops, network with people, see what is the demand going on, where the industry is trending, what are the skill set which is required, and see the gap. For example, just now Shora has said that whatever things he is doing, he has a good tag name, but currently he is not doing that work. So that is the major gap, right? And many people are struggling with that gap. So for that only, I think these courses are designed. For that only, these conferences are there. And I think Bangalore is a hub where we can network with people. There is a lot of conferences on a weekly or monthly basis going on. Many good, you can meet in the gym also CEO of the company, you never know, right? That's the beauty in Bangalore. So that's what I feel. So you should have a mindset key, I have to learn and I have to grow myself, if you are feeling that I am somewhere lagging in terms of a skill set.
Thanks, Priya. One last question, Sandeep sir, if you can help, and Priya, if you can give your inputs also. So, like, we all are talking about, and like maybe it's like we are in the developing country, that about jobs at big tech and all, and that's good actually. So like what you can suggest that it can be a more entrepreneurial mindset, right? So that we can also think about starting something of our own, and after in AI space, right? So there are a lot of scope that things can be done. So how to actually have that shift and how to groom ourselves. I mean, yeah, there are startup accelerators and all those things, but what would be your suggestions for anyone who wants to do that?
All right, so talking about entrepreneurship, I always say that if you see a problem around you, the thing that I don't like about a lot of entrepreneurship ideas is a lot of people, what they try to do is whatever went successful in China and US, let's replicate that. I mean, I don't think that works a lot many times in India unless you get a lot of money. The way I see it is we should actually look at a problem which is around us, and we feel like this problem can be solved and it should be solved. And I have the right skills to solve it. Even if I don't have the all skills, I can solve it with the current skills and I can keep upskilling myself. So if you are in that state where you are too confident that this problem should be solved, must be solved, and I can solve it, basically, then you are good to go as an entrepreneur. And if you solve a problem which is helping people, which is saving their time, making their life easier, and even if the number of people initially is 5 or 10, that should be good enough. I mean, when I started Geeks for Geeks, tech hiring or tech job is not a big problem in China or US. It's a problem in India. We have large engineering crowd and a demand supply game, right? So people need to know how to apply and how to upskill themselves, how to prepare themselves. So pick a problem where you see that this problem should be solved and you can solve it with your skill and solve it for certain limited number of people. I mean, we should, like interviews, she said, right? We should not be like, I'll prepare for an year and then I'll apply. Just build an MVP and try to make it available for limited number of people. And if 5 people use it and they like it and their life is become better because of you and they are getting success in their careers, their life because of your product, then it will become 10, 50, 100 anytime. Even if at the back end you're doing everything manually, you don't have AI, ML, you don't have tech, but you are helping 5 people. Right? That's my idea of building a startup. And with time, when you will get that thank you messages, those people sending you mails, calling you that, hey, your product helped me, you will always get motivation. Money and other things won't give you that motivation. With the kind of motivation you get from the thank you emails. Like I visited Bengaluru, and I mean, when we are running a business, we see a lot of problems in Noida, and in our Noida office, a lot of challenges come in running business. But whenever I visit colleges, whenever I visit places, do community like this, and whenever I hear from the people that your courses helped me, Geeks helped me getting a job, and you were telling about Ashish Baranwal's story, right? I mean, that those are much more motivating than me, than revenue or anything else. And even if this is coming from 5 people initially, you will get motivated. You will try to solve it for 10 people, 100 people, and you will keep growing. That's the
Thanks
idea.
a lot, sir. Thank you. Thanks, Priya.
So applause for our panel today. We are almost on time and done for the day. And thank you everyone for joining. So yeah, let's close the session.
Thank you all. Thank you everyone. Really enjoyed talking to you, and thank you coming on weekend. I really liked all the answers given by Priya. I mean, I would have answered the same answer for a lot of questions. Thank you everyone. Thank you, Priya. Thank you.